Hi, we're married. We wanted to talk about stuff, and so this was made. Don't know what we're gonna call it.
Let's
Probably.
just call it Hi, We're Married.
Hi, hi, we're married. And it's just gonna be pure chaos of us just picking a different topic and going on about it. Each of us will have a turn. So this one is me, the first episode. Very exciting. And next week Spencer will have a turn. We're just gonna go back and forth with it. So this week, for the first one, I thought it was appropriate to do tarot since my name is tarot literature, which is weird because I never talk about tarot ever for some reason on the channel. But
On to now.
it is what it is. Okay, so I know you know somewhat about it, Spencer, because we
Yes.
have gone on little episodic journeys of me ranting about it to you.
Yes.
But I'm going to go a bit more. I'm going to give you the history of it.
I'm ready.
Um, so first off, for those who do not know, tarot is a popular divination tool. It's a set of cards made up of major arcana and minor arcana. We'll get into the specifics later. It's for pop culture purposes. It's usually associated with the occult, witchcraft, paganism, the devil. But that's not actually the case. That's just how TV and stuff portray it. And a lot of people pick it up because of New Age practices, party tricks, or because it's part of their spirituality or things like that. But we gotta go back to figure it out. So before we even get into tarot cards, we gotta go back to the beginning of playing cards. Alright, so
Just cards.
picture it Europe, 14th century. People have nothing to do other than, die of the common cold
And drink alcohol.
and drink alcohol. Um, the These cards came out called playing cards. Now, in the very beginning of playing cards, a lot of the times the games and the cards themselves were banned. Not We're not quite sure why. All that is known, really about early playing cards, is from a guy named John of Renfield Fielden. He essentially just wrote down what we know about playing cards. And playing cards back then are essentially the same thing we have today. It has the suits. I think the only difference really was queens might have been called dames, and but they had the hearts, the spades, all of that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's essentially the same. Like
The oldest game, I guess.
it really, really was.
Well, hang on.
But
If this is the 1300s,
yeah, it's 14th century. Yeah.
that makes playing cards older than the Aztec Empire. Is that right?
Yes. The Aztecs
Dang,
could be playing poker.
that's wild.
Aztecs played poker. You heard it here first, folks.
Aztecs got a real stony face going on there.
Honestly, the Aztecs were around for a lot of things.
They really were.
It's just our brains can't comprehend it because it's like, oh, the Aztecs were so old. No, the Aztecs were around for what? Well, they were here for playing cards. They were here for I
The
don't
founding
know.
of Cambridge University.
Yeah, yeah,
Is that right? Or
Yeah,
Oxford? It's Oxford.
Oxford. They're Oxford's older than Aztecs.
Yeah,
I think I could be wrong. Someone will tell me if I'm wrong. The Mississippi Mounds, I think they're older than the Aztecs.
makes sense.
A lot of the native, really like old structures that were gone before the Europeans invaded, are older than the Aztecs. So yeah.
Anyway,
So the thing is though, Italy, essentially the more Spanish European countries, so Portugal, Italy, and then some of the other Spanish speaking areas, had their own version. And it had the four suits, but instead of it being hearts, spades, clubs, and diamonds, it was clubs, coins, swords, and cups was the suits. And those of you who know tarot know that those are the minor arcana suits.
that sounds quite familiar.
Yeah. Um, and actually in Italy, and also I was saying Italy was a Spanish speaking country. I meant like Spain and Portugal and then Italy and then some of the other minor areas. But today,
Like Latin-based languages, you mean?
Latin, yeah, Latin-based languages.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. But today, like Italy, Portugal, Spain, those areas still actually have their playing cards. Still have those suits. They're not like tarot cards. They're just playing cards.
That's wacky.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you something else that's wacky. The first documented tarot, card deck came from around 1440 to 1450. And what it was it wasn't for divination. They kept the suits, and then they added these cards that were called Corte da Trionfi, or as the English called it, the trump cards. And these cards were made so they could play a specific type of card games. These were called Tarocchini, French Tarot, and Coingrufen. And it was a card game where you needed the suits and the trump cards to beat your opponent. So tarot cards were made as playing cards, and people were playing this the whole way into the Italian Wars, and it was, let's see here. So not many of the packs back then survived because they had to be hand painted. But the ones that did survive was actually they were hand painted by a man who was from Marcellus, and this
Marseille. Does it look French?
No, I think it's Italian. I put in doc, and for those who are wondering, it will have already appeared, and everyone who knows what it is will think I'm stupid.
Pretty sure that's pronounced Marseille.
Well, there we go.
Let me look it up because these things are important to me for some reason.
Continue. No, they're important. I think it's important. I just can't pronounce things. I can't even pronounce English very well. So, well,
is there an S at the end?
It's Marseille. Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay, it's spelled both ways in English. Okay. It's Marseille.
It's Marseille. Well,
Marseille.
someone had him hand paint a pack of these, and a pack of them survived long enough where they made it to the printing press.
Nice.
So it during the Italian Wars, this specific image of the deck became popular, and it spread throughout Europe. So this is what it looks like now. This is not the most popular, this isn't the one you're going to see in stores. This is one you'll see more in Italy, in those areas where it became popular.
Mm-hmm.
But I will get to the Waite Smith tarot deck that you'll see almost everywhere. The one with the yellow backgrounds.
Yes.
There's a couple other renditions of it. With this deck in particular, they were really focused on the imagery because they wanted the cards to look visually beautiful.
Oh.
So a lot of the images were very, very striking.
That's quite nifty.
Yes.
Cavalier de Denier.
Yeah. So, yeah, about after the Italian Wars. When were the Italian Wars? It didn't say when I was doing research, and I didn't think to look at it till now.
I was kind of wondering. I would have asked eventually.
We got a couple of dates. So, basically, can you look up when the printing press was? Because let me just tell you, there's been a couple Italian wars.
1440, 1450?
1440, 1450?
Yes.
Okay, so it's probably the first one, because the first Italian war that I'm finding is from 1494 to 1498.
Okay.
So, mind you, it could have been different because we have dates. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There was 8 different ones accounted here, and they primarily happened in the Italian Peninsula, France, Germany, Spain, and the Low Countries, which is primarily where you're going to find this type of tarot decks. So it makes sense. But yeah, these ones are circulating there still. But after that, after tarot, got really popular as a card game, it sort of just died a little. I mean, people still played it. People still play these games today. But it's just card games. It's not until the huge occult movement, during the 1700s and 1800s that tarot came
Yes.
back in. So there's a form of divination called cartomancy, and it's legitimately just reading cards as a form of divination. So you can pick up just a regular pack of playing cards as long as you assign different meanings to them. You can read them. That's where oracle cards come from and things like that. It's just some type of card you use. Well, around 1750s ish, a man by the name of I'm gonna type it out in the little thingy for you
Okay. I'll try to
because
pronounce it for you.
it's a French name.
French.
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 I love his name though, Jean Baptiste Aliette. Aliette. I don't know French. My mom would know.
Eliette.
Aliette.
Probably Aliette.
But that was
Jean
his
Baptiste Aliette.
Jean Baptiste. Well, that's his Christian name. He had an occult name. Many people at this time had their occult names, and it it's just his name backwards. So yeah,
Etela.
Etele
Etela.
probably. But he got a hold of one of these cards, which makes sense because France was one of the areas that would play French, French tarot. Makes sense. Checks out.
Etela.
He was the one that started using these cards for divination. But it wasn't him who came up with a lot of the terms or like all the meetings and stuff. He just liked the cards because they had so many visual imagery. So he's the one that sort of went, okay, well, let's look at the Fool. And the Fool has a very specific like like image to him. Like almost all traditional, I say traditional loosely, decks have a very specific way of drawing him, and he really liked that. And it's
So
easy
it was divination by picture book.
yeah, exactly. Like I just put a picture of a Fool, and like
Yes.
most of them had something like this, and it was easy to break the image down into meaning, and then turn that meaning into a form of divination. But
Question.
hmm.
What does the cat crawling up his ass mean?
Okay, so the cat, I think, so back then, for a very long period of time, and even a little bit today, cats are viewed as bad luck, and the Fool's meant to be the start of the journey. So for the Fool, it's like he wants to go on this new adventure, but he's so naive, he's so innocent, he's not going to recognize like these dangers, and this cat's trying to like stop him. But I think in this case, the cat's attacking him because in the Rider Waite Smith tarot deck, the one that you see more commonly with the yellow, they have a white dog in it. The white dog is warning the Fool of the ledge he's going to walk off of. But with this one, I think it's more the cat's attacking him. So
All right.
they just replaced a cat with a dog. But I mean, like, for me, I think the cat would be warning him because I don't think cats are bad luck.
Yeah.
But that's the other thing, though. Each reader can have the image be different. Because for me, like, when I see the Fool trying to walk off the ledge, I don't think he's trying to walk off the ledge. I just think he's getting too close for comfort. Like, it's different for each person.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the other thing is, this might not be a cat. This 100% could still be a dog. And it just looks like a cat.
Can we take a moment to go on a tangent about medieval animal paintings?
Yes, we can. I gotta look them up.
Medieval
You put them.
animal paintings. Oh, good lord.
Okay,
Is that a whale?
please find a cow one. I love the cow ones.
This elephant one's pretty good.
Did you put it in the thingy?
Yes, I will. That's the wrong one. This is the right one. Okay, here's the elephant.
Alright. Let me see. I too have the tornado trunk. I love the little like high-heeled boots he's wearing.
Yeah.
Let's see here, what else? His sharp little teeth with his tusks.
Yeah.
So menacing. Okay, so the cow I'm talking about, it's not a medieval one, but I love because it was like this time period did cows very specifically. I will look up the time period, but
Oh my god.
they're so wide. The 19th century. Okay, 19th century British cow paintings.
Absolute chonker.
But then if you look at okay, so let's compare this to the medieval cow painting. The medieval cow painting looks more realistic than Rectangle Boy.
That it does.
but I love them. Should I start drawing rectangular cows?
Maybe. Oh my god. What is this? What is this, a dog?
Show me. It's the dog rabbit. Oh, okay. What if that's like one of those rabbit hunting? You know?
Oh, of course.
So he's gotta look like the sea monsters
It's a
though.
terrier.
The sea monsters though.
Alright, I'm gonna see if I can find one more that's terrible.
Have you seen the sea monster?
The sea monster?
I put it in the thingy.
Oh yeah, the whale you mean.
Oh yes. Have you seen them do owls or birds? They just put a
Yes.
they just put a human face with a little like curled schnoz.
It's terrifying.
Oh yeah. Oh
Oh
yeah.
my god. I hate that so much.
I like how they make so many animals with humanoid faces. But that's what Disney does. Disney will like make animals more masculine or feminine or like humanize their faces. And it's why? I don't need.
Disney is medieval artist, confirmed.
Well, okay, so this was talked about with Raya and the Last Dragon, how the dragon had this like typical female Disney face, and everyone's like, why can't we just have a dragon?
Yeah.
Everyone, because I saw some people get excited about it because it was the first time like their culture was being represented, and I love how they're doing that. More Asian and Latin films, Encanto
Yes.
and Turning Red. Like I love those films, but then they come out with with this face. Dragons don't look like that.
Yeah. Kinda just be like that, I guess. It's unsettling to look at.
Like
Uncanny
I
is the word I'm
guess
looking for.
I guess they're trying with, and it's furry. Why is it furry?
Walt Disney's a furry, confirmed.
Anyway,
Furry medieval artist.
sip potato chip. Okay, I've had my water. Let's get back on track.
Yes.
Okay. So anyway, Jean Baptiste was the one who sort of popularized using tarot as divination, but he wasn't the one that came up with like all the terminology. It was another man. I think roughly around the same time, because like all of the things with tarot happened like right after one another, or if not like at the same time, because these
occultist movement style.
Yeah, the occultists would write in between, write to each other and stuff. The man who came up with the terminology of major and minor arcana and some of the other nuances of tarot reading was a name called Jean Baptiste Pitois, or
Patois.
Pitois, maybe.
Probably
But
Patois.
I love his other name he went by, Paul Christian. He was like,
Paul.
I no Jean Baptiste. I am Paul Christian.
Paul Christian.
Like some of these, like we have like Aleister Crowley, Frieda Harris. Like we have some really cool occultist names, and then we have Paul. I just feel like he was not given a fair chance. That's all I'm saying.
Paul Christian.
Paul Christian.
Sounds like one of those really fake like disguise names,
Yes.
It's like, yes, I am Michael. Looks at table. Pencil.
Quick, what's your name?
It's like, what? Yes, of course I'm a Christian. Don't you know my name? I'm
Paul Christian.
Paul Christian.
So they were using tarot, but it was the very infamous Aleister. Now, how do you say? Is it Crowley or Crowley? Crowley.
I say Crowley.
You say Crowley? Okay, I've heard it a couple of different ways. Well, this famous man and a woman by the name of Lady Frieda Harris also decided to create a deck. This is called the Thoth deck. Thoth Tarot deck. I will throw some pictures out here. Everyone will also see them. This is actually a very popular deck to use, and I think it's very, very pretty. But the main interest with this deck was, once again, imagery, color, but also he wanted to use Egyptian. He pulled a lot of like Egyptian mythology into it, and that was the thing during this time. Like Hindu, Egyptian, like basically anything that they felt was mystical, they threw into the occult. And these people who did tarot pulled a lot from Egyptian. And I know it was the History Channel, I think, or it might have been some other history documentary I saw on tarot cards, and they're like, no one knows the history of tarot cards. Some people say it dates back as far as Egypt. It's like, no, it's not.
Back as far as Egypt? When in Egypt? Egypt has concurrently existed for like 400 years now.
Like, I don't know. It's
Egypt as
they
its own country has existed since I don't even know
they
when.
have decks like inspired by Egyptian mythology, imagery, and things like that. But during my like when I was looking at things, I didn't see anything where it stated that Egypt had its own form of tarot. Like cards, I don't even think they use cards for things like that. So it was just them trying to make it older than time. Like a lot of these occultists were like, tarot's been around for years. No, it hasn't. Like the cards, yeah. The game, sure. Divination, no. In the grand scheme of things, tarot divination had a couple of really popular springs during the occultist time, 1750s forward with Victoria. When Wicca became really popular in like the early to mid 1900s, like the 50s to 70s,
Yes.
Wicca, and then today, because more people are like, it's cool, and it is cool. But yeah,
It is known.
the Thoth tarot deck that pulls a lot from Egypt, Satanism, and things like that. And I'm not getting on the topic of Satanism. If people want us to talk about that, we can, but that's a whole thing. And
Do a different episode.
there's not enough time to cover that. I'm a religious studies major. I have a degree in it, so
That would be the rest of the episode if we went on that
yeah,
tangent.
exactly. I have a couple of tangents about that. But there was one other deck that was created, and that was the Rider Waite Tarot deck. It's also sometimes called the Waite Smith Tarot deck or the Rider Waite Smith Tarot deck. And it was created by A.E. Waite, and he was the one that sort of came up with the instructions. He provided the academic background and the mysticism to it. But Pamela Coleman Smith was the one who did the illustration. And this was like late 1800s, early 19th century, like the
Yes.
prime of the Victorian occultist movement. And they together, I don't know where Rider comes in. I think it was just what they called it. Was when these cards came forward.
I'm ready.
I'm putting these ones. The ones that's like if people want generic card deck, this is the deck they're gonna pick up. Like if
Yes.
you're looking up stock photos of tarot cards, you're gonna see these.
The
Uh,
Waitsmith deck. Yes.
but they're really really pretty, and they're the ones that sort of you can see in this one picture with the full. He's carrying a bag. He's walking over the edge. The white dog. Like this is where a lot of our common tropes and symbolism in imagery comes in with
Yes.
tarot. Now, when it comes to tarot, there are it's broken up into major and minor arcana. And I'm just going to give a quick description of it so we can get on to some of the other stuff that we wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, in total, tarot consists of 78 cards. Now, it will always consist of 78 cards. If you want to be like, I only want it to be 10 cards, you're talking about oracle cards, and that's something different.
Oop.
So there are 22 major arcana cards, or as they were known, the trump cards, and then 56 minor arcana. The minor arcana are just the suits. Now, how they were described was that and I will share this with you, and I will share this probably either in the video or the description, I'm not sure which, this website that I like to use a lot when just doing my own personal research for it, called tarot.com, for nice. How it is that the major arcana are these like really big concepts in like the life's journey, because when it comes to tarot, the idea is that when you come in for a question, the question you're asking deals with a specific journey. So the default question is usually like, am I gonna find the love of my life or something like that. So that it's like if we talk about it in like anime thing, that's your love arc, or if you're coming in
Mm-hmm.
about job, that's your journey through you trying to get a job, and you'll always continue. Like one journey will end, but you will always have another one going on. So the idea is that the major arcana is depicting that journey, starting with the Fool and ending with the World. I've actually seen these in a different order a couple of times Like, I have a deck where I think it ends with something different, or it's like the devil's in a different spot, but normally it's very particular. And they
Right.
usually depict like these big events in your life. And each one has its own meaning. It's really complicated. I could probably just do my own video just diving into that. But
So,
then hmm,
what's the significance of the order of the major arcana?
they follow the order, the journey the fool takes. So like the first card is the fool. That's 0. The fool's representative of you on your journey, in a way.
Right.
So it's like the fool is innocent, naive, he's enthusiastic. It's almost like childlike wonder. And so
Yes.
the idea would be on his journey, he'll meet the magician or someone who will guide him. The magician is all knowing, he's an expert in this, and things like that. And then it will just continue on. So, like, the high priestess is more spiritual, whereas the empress is more like material. And it's like there's like a yin and yang to each card. So as you go through, you'll notice the cards are next to each other. That is their opposite.
Hmm.
Yeah. So it's like,
Tarot
but
lore.
yeah, tarot lore essentially. You could literally tell an entire story. Some people will do that, where if you can lay all the cards out, they'll like be an entire story. Other things is other people will create just what's called art cards, and they'll just do the major arcana, and these cards are not meant to be read. They're literally just for you to look at. I have a deck like that for the video game Fire Emblem, and the cards were created by a bunch of different artists, and it's really pretty. But I'm never going to use them to read because I don't want to ruin them.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. I have a couple of deck of tarot cards that these are my regulars. I'll pull them out for those things. I want them to look a little worn. I want them to look used. Whereas I have other
Yes.
decks where I'm like, I don't want to ruin them because that's not what I have them for. And I know some practitioners who are like, this is my one deck. I'm never going to buy another one. Some people believe you have to have your deck gifted to you. There's a bunch of different ideas when it comes to tarot.
Some people believe your deck needs to be seasoned like a skillet.
Yes. I consider her a huge mentor. She's the one that sort of inspired me to go to get my doctorate. Dr. Stillwell, if you happen to be listening to this, thank you so much. She has this handmade box from one of her exes, like carved by hand, where she keeps her tarot deck. This deck has went with her around the world. Like, this deck is 30 years old. It's so nice. It's like a very high energy deck, and I love it. But yeah, some people will
Awesome.
do that. But for minor arcana, with the different suits, the idea is the minor arcana is more of like the details,
Yes.
like
The
little
minutia.
minute. Yeah. Well, the other thing is, people like to associate them with certain things. So, like, for me personally, when I see pentacles or coins, I associate that with business, career, financing, more material things when they come up.
Yes.
Swords are mental strength. Like, typically when I see swords come up, something's going down. Like, something bad's happening. To me, swords, they're not bad, but like, you're going through something. Cups is relationships, whether that's romantic, personal, it. And actually in the lovers, I think for many of them, the image of a cup is there. And then for wands, that's more mysticism, spiritual, artistic, more intangible things.
Hmm.
But what's interesting is for the minor arcana, they also have their own little journey you can see going through. And the major arcana, they typically have something that represents that element in their cards, in some
Yeah.
fashion. So that's cool. But why I really, really wanted to talk about tarot is I love tarot memes. I think they're the funniest things ever,
All right.
and I
Let's
want
do some tarot memes.
and I want to share them with you. That's the real reason why I wanted to go on this tangent with you. Let's
All
do
right.
this. Some people might not fully understand this, but those of you who are watching who use tarot or have had a tarot reading, some of these are going to hit home.
Oh, there is an r/tarot memes.
Oh, heck yeah, there is. All right, share the tarot. Share it.
Am I sending you the link?
I just meant the meme you were having because I'm on it too. Is it the one with uh, Aleister Crowley as the?
No.
Okay, you send your link, and I'll send you my link. All right, there's mine. All right, let's look at yours first, and then we'll go to mine.
I don't know if we can go to
It's
yours.
the same thing.
It's the same one.
Yes, you silly
Nice.
man. Okay, let's look at it. The first one. Am I reading the cards or are they reading me? Me. It's been a while since I did a reading. Let's see what the cards have to say. My tarot cards. I find you lazy, rude, horny, and dumb.
All right, we've got a quad here.
A quad? Which one? Show me.
Here you go. If you don't love me at my fuck your entire life, you don't deserve me at my everything is awesome.
Okay. Let me see. Let me see if I can break this down for you. These images. Just leave the link there because I can put the image in for the video.
Yeah.
Okay. So for the fuck your entire life one, okay, so the thing on top of the tower is the devil from the devil card. He
Makes sense.
means addiction, basically toxicity, staying to things that
Bad
aren't good
times
to
in
you.
general.
The big tower thing is the tower. Basically, if this card appears in your deck, the tarot reader looks at you and go, "What the hell did you do? Your life's in
Nice.
shambles." I have had a reading. Okay, so a lot of people think when the death card, Death 13th card, comes up,
Mm-hmm.
JoJo reference. Whoa.
Ooh.
A lot of people think when that comes up, that means someone's gonna die. Death, it does not mean like literal physical death. It's more like something has to change or change is coming. Well, I was doing a reading for this girl for this this little event my club was doing. She got the death card, the tower card, and the devil card all in one reading.
Sheesh.
I looked at her and went, are you okay? And she's like, I think I need to reevaluate my life. And I was like, I think so too. So essentially, all the cards in this image right here, like all those images, the swords and stuff, it's basically your life's in shambles. And then the other one's just, the sun,
I
rainbow,
see a lot of
happy times.
swords.
Yeah. And then the other one, you're going to see a lot of wands and cups. Can we go on a side tangent about how JoJo in part 3 did an entire thing on tarot and then never looked back?
Yeah, they kind of really did, didn't they?
Like every stand was based off of a tarot thing. They have JoJo tarot cards. Let me see here. And I think it's just like the major arcana, There they are. I think these are it. But yeah, they had like Star Platinum, Hierophant Green.
Yeah.
But then they never brought it back up again.
It just never comes back.
It never. But that happens all the time with JoJo. These might not be the JoJo cards. I don't know. Anyway, let's look at a couple more memes.
Yes.
For those of you who also use Oracle cards, you'll find this funny. Tarot cards, the box they come in. Oracle cards, the box they come in.
Oh no.
It's not wrong. Tarot card boxes are very, very depressing. They've been getting better though. Well, I think it's part of the reason why they do that is because a lot of tarot readers would throw away the box or like put it aside because they have special bags and stuff they put it in.
Excellent. Why don't you just take the tarot cards and put them in an Oracle cards box?
No, you can't mix and mingle. I'm sorry. Salesman slaps tarot deck. This baby can fit astronomical amounts of confusion and disappointment in it.
Hang on, I got one. Me pulling the Three of Cups and envisioning seeing my family and friends. The Devil card right behind it, letting me know it's an intervention.
God.
Ah.
Okay, we can do a couple more. Just a few more, and then we're done. You're done.
We're done.
You're done.
Show me what you looked like at the beginning of the decade versus the end of the decade.
Are you gonna flirt with every girl that walks by? Okay, it's that
Excellent.
time. Where you look like
The Fool and the Hermit.
Yeah.
There are supposed to be 78 cards in this deck, so why do I keep drawing the same one? The same one being the Tower.
It's like that though. They know. If you don't get your shit together, it knows. They know.
And they know. They're gonna know.
How are they gonna know?
They're gonna know. Alright.
Okay. Oh, last
That was
meme.
fun.
Last meme. Last meme.
Last meme. Last meme.
Last
Last meme.
meme. And then
Last meme.
when you're out enjoying the simple pleasures of life, and Squidward is the hermit.
Excellent.
Okay.
Okay.
We're done.
We've been married.
We've been married. We went on tangents. Thanks.
Bye, we're married.
Bye, we're married.